Hi guys, welcome back to Aviary Attorney. And today we will be going to the Studio de Robinho to talk to the guy that took the photograph, the photographer, as we say in the biz. So, this is the studio of the famous photographer. Shall we knock? Wait, there's a note on the door. Ahem. The magnificent and marvelous artist, Monsieur Jayjay de Robinho, is currently out on an artistic expedition. He shall return when his muse sees fit. When his muse sees fit? What does that even mean? I think it means that he is a pretentious bird brain, but in any case, the artist seems to be out. What shall we do now? We should knock anyway. All right, I don't see the harm. Nope, it doesn't look like he's in, Falcon. We should break in. We should break in. What? Are you serious? Maybe. Monsieur Jayjay Falcon, I would have thought that a man of justice like yourself would be against such reckless displays of unlawful barbarism. You're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what came over. It's a brilliant suggestion. Stand back. I'm barging the door down. Wait, just like that? Shouldn't we discuss this first? Oh boy. What in bird Jesus' name was that? You said you wanted to break in. I thought we could find an open window. I don't think you would turn into a bird-sized cannonball. Well, now we're here. We ought to make the most of it. This place is quite something. It's very swanky? I was going to say ostentatious. That's just swanky talk for swanky. We don't have time for this. The sound of a door being smashed in could be drawing unwanted attention. We should find anything that may help our case and get out. Select an area to examine. Tabitha just came up to me. She wants some attention. She just got up from a nap. Okay. I see paints, inks, and dyes. I'm not quite sure what the clear liquid in this bottle is. I could taste test it. You could, but we don't have the time for a hospital visit right now, so let's not. Select an area to examine. Chandelier. You should get one of those for the office. I don't have the money for that sort of luxury. Oh, painting. This is a photograph of a castle somewhere in the countryside. You know, I once had an uncle who fell off a castle rampart while on guard duty. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Did he die? No, he got demoted. Ugh, terrible. There's a lot of little pictures. Oh, wow. A beautiful picture of the Paris skyline. Given the angle, this must have been taken from Notre Dame Cathedral itself. This appears to be a photograph of a ladder, symbolic of climbing towards success, perhaps? It looks more like a stepladder to me. Oh no, we're not getting into that old argument. Select an area. I see a finely dressed dandy fellow upon a horse. I see a bourgeois tigress in profile. Oh yeah, you do kind of see a profile. This one? We're examining all the portraits. A butterfly, or maybe a moth. It's difficult to tell in black and white. A lighthouse? No, wait. It's a man in a top hat. Actually, if I squint and turn my head sideways... It's a black smudge, Falcon. Abstract. This is a tiny photograph of what appears to be a jail cell. That reminds me, how illegal is this? You know, breaking and entering, rifling through a person's belongings? It's cool, we're lawyers. It's a little illegal. Well, it's illegal, yes, but we're trying to solve a murder case, so it's forgivable. Oh ho, so you're saying that a small act of evil is justifiable if it results in a greater good. Don't put words in my beak. This is a picture of a fence. It's a fancy photograph. It leaves the viewer defenseless. Out of all the pictures here, I would pick it as my favorite. Okay, I'm done. No more fence puns. One more photograph and two more things to select. A picture of a sailing ship on a windy day. Hey Falcon, look! What? It's just an easel. Oh, no, look at what's on the easel. Oh. Oh, wow, this must be a copy of the photograph from the evening of the murder. There's no question about it. I see a housemaid, Dame Caroline, and I think that's Signor Pertois, Caroline's father. So what shall we do? Do we just take it? Well, we already broke in, but I don't know. We should leave it. Breaking and entering plus stealing might be a little bit too much. No, that would be a big mistake. Every half-competent lawyer knows that stolen property can't be used as evidence. Still, we've learned some valuable information by seeing this photograph in person. I suppose so. Is there anything else we need to do here? I think we have everything. And all the pictures. Yep, okay. I think we're done snooping. Let's get out of here before we draw further attention to ourselves. Sounds good to me. Uh-oh. Oh, mon Dieu, what happened to my door? I guess... What do I do? Oh, I'm terrible. I'm so ashamed of my horrible behavior. Well, Monsieur Robinho, it's like this. You see, we are attorneys who have been hired for the purpose of... Raven! A raven did it! He saw the whole thing! We saw the whole thing! What are you doing, Sparrowson? I've got this. I'm not going to jail because your conscience is acting up. Nobody's going to jail. Just take it easy. Ugh, damn ravens. They're always after our shiny objects, am I right? Yeah, that's right. Let's make a move. Trial day is approaching fast. Right, let's go. We don't want to talk to Rubinio at all? Place de Justice. Justice. The Palace of Justice. Houses, the High Court. Sorry. A place reserved for only the most serious of crimes. All right, next to the prison. Falcon and Sparrowson stand inside the marble portico of the Palais de Justice, awaiting the opening of the Tribunal de Grande Instance. Are you nervous, Falcon? Yes. Why not? Of course I'm nervous. We're woefully underprepared for this case. 2 days. We only had 2 days to prepare. How are we expected to get anything done in that time frame? Calm your feathers, Falcon. We can do this. Ah, Monsieur Falcon, petite Sparrowson. Is there anything you need me to do? No, we've got a handle on things. Falcon was just telling me how confident he was feeling about the case. That's wonderful. I just know you two will pull through. Let's move along, fellas. I'll be watching from inside. Do your best for me, Monsieur Falcon. We will. Are we ready? Yeah, we're ready. Uh-oh. All right, settle down, everyone. Settle down. Is everybody here? Jayjay Falcon present. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Rupert Rabbington present. The readiest prosecution, Your Honor. Oh, darn, that's not it. Oh gosh, where are my notes? Ha, I knew it. Knew what? Rupert and I went to Paris Law School together. He was in all of my classes. Oh, was he smart? Psh, no, he always scored the second worst marks in the class. I can only assume that he bumbled through the final exams on the luck of his 2 rabbit's feet. Unless he's improved considerably, you might already have the trial in the bag. That's good to know, but say, Sparrowson, if Robert scored the second lowest marks in the class, then who scored the lowest? Oh dear! I choose to exercise my right to not self-incriminate. Oh, here it is. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. Are the jury all present? All present and accounted for, Your Honor. Oh my. Look at these dandies. Hey, Falcon. I'll just silence my phone. Okay, phone silenced. Hey, Falcon. I thought there were only 6 members of the jury for cases like this. Why do I count 8? Oh, those 2 birds with the funny hats are assessors, the associate judges. So these 2, I guess. Everything seems to be ordered. So let us begin. The court is now in session for the trial of Dame Caroline Demiao. Prosecution, please call your first witness to the stand. Oh gosh, are we there already? Okay, I choose to call the officer in charge of the murder investigation, Inspector Volerty, to witness... Volerty, yeah, to the witness stand. Inspector Volerty, please approach the stand and recite the oath. As you will, Your Honor. I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Inspector, please state your, name and occupation for the record. My name is Inspector Just Volerty. I am servant to the law, a scourge of the gutter rats that plague this city. I have enforced the law for over 20 years, and I shall continue until I bring the infamous Viridian killer to justice. My path begins 18 years ago. Let's stick to the questions, Inspector. Of course, Your Honor. Oh, great. I was hoping we could have one of those bumbling, cuddly officers, but instead we're stuck with lawful goody two-shoes. I bet this guy would turn in his own mother if he saw her littering. So, Inspector, is it true that you are the lead investigator on this case? That is correct. I was also among the first to arrive at the scene of the crime. Then perhaps you can walk us through what you witnessed upon your arrival? Absolutely. Just after 7:30, we were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Reguilon. His name just makes me laugh. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Caroline Demiao. She was standing over the corpse of Monsieur Grenouille with his blood on her paws. Well, that sounds like an open and shut case, in my humble opinion. No more questions, Your Honor. But bloody paws? Nobody told me that detail. Keep it together, Falcon. You're about to be given the opportunity to cross-examine the witness. Oh man, this is just like Ace Attorney. Oh. That's your opportunity to find flaws in the inspector's testimony. Of course, I know this. You may begin your cross-examination, Monsieur Falcon. Cross-examination. Cross-examine the witness to find flaws in his testimony. Does he have one arm? Does he have no arms? Select a key phrase that you find suspicious, and Falcon will press the witness for information. Ask the right questions to bring the truth to light. Avoid pressing for pointless details. The judge and jury don't like having their time wasted. Select a statement to question. We were alerted and brought to the scene by the housemaid of Baron Roguil. At the scene of the crime, we found Dame Cataline. She was standing over the sliced open corpse of Monsieur Grenouille with blood on her paws. We'll go with blood on her paws first because that's something we didn't know already. Inspector, you say Dame Cataline had blood on her paws. Correct. Blood clung to her fur like guilt to a convict. Whose blood was it? How much blood was there? Never mind. Whose blood was it? Whose blood was it? Ha! What a question. It was Monsieur Grenouille's, of course. How can you be sure? Oh, I object. This line of questioning is absurd. There was only one murder victim that night, Falcon. The blood on Dame Cataline's paws could have only belonged to one person, Monsieur Grenouille. Judge! Falcon's trying to delay the trial by asking pointless questions. I'm afraid the prosecution may have a point, Monsieur Falcon. Do you have any reason to suspect that the blood belonged to someone other than Monsieur Grenouille? I do. This is going to be just like Ace Attorney, where I question everything I do. I do, Your Honor. Actually, I have more than suspicion. I have evidence that the blood of Dame Cataline's paws had nothing to do with the murder. This is foolish time wasting, Falcon. If the blood on Dame Cataline's paws didn't come from the victim, then where did the blood come from? That's right, they didn't use silverware that night. Rare steak. On the evening of the murder, Dame Cataline ate a bloody rare steak. Is this true, Monsieur Robbington? Well, in a matter of speaking, I suppose the steak may have been on the menu. Then, Inspector, would you acknowledge the possibility that the blood on the lady's paws did not belong to the victim, but to the steak? Well, wait, don't answer the inspector. It is a possibility. No! Intriguing, pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. That's good tea. So, Inspector Volierty, is it possible that you arrested an innocent bystander simply for being a messy eater? Now, hold on just 1 minute, Falcon. You are overlooking something quite crucial. Dame Cataline is an elegant bourgeois kitten. She was no doubt brought up with a flawless etiquette and a perfect table manners, except there was no silverware that night. At the banquet, she would have eaten the steak with a fork in her left hand and a knife in her right, like a proper, civilized animal. How could she have possibly gotten blood on her paws with such good manners? Oh, that is a good question, or at least it would be at any ordinary dinner banquet. But as it happens, something was missing from that particular banquet. Something that forced Dame Cataline to eat with her paws. Missing silverware. Dame Cataline was forced to eat steak with her paws because the silverware of the household had been previously stolen. Stolen? I don't recall any mention of that in the police report. We weren't aware of anything missing from the Roguil residence when we performed the initial investigation. As it happened, Baron Roguil approached us about this very subject last night. Innocent, perhaps? What a twist! You gained a little favor with the jury. What is the meaning of all this? Bloody steak? Misplaced silverware? Inspector, was your investigation so lax that you overlooked these basic facts in your initial report? Lax? My investigation? Judge, I assure you I am the most thorough investigative officer on the force. Then it is amazing that the Parisian police managed to solve any crimes at all. Oh dear. Be on your way, Inspector. Perhaps do a little inspecting for your next case. Fine, so be it, Mrs. Until next time. Oh, dang. Prosecutor, I trust your next witness is ready. Yes, of course, Your Honor. I call upon, let's see, Monsieur Robitio Robinio, the photographer who attended the banquet on the night of the murder. Monsieur Robitio Robinio, please approach the stand and recite the oath. How does it go? I swear to speak without hatred and without fear, to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth. It's a little cliché, to be perfectly honest. Could the witness please introduce himself for the court record? As if anybody in this courtroom does not immediately recognize me. I am the great Monsieur Robitio Robinio, cutting-edge photographer and visionary. I don't just take people's pictures, I capture their very essence. Je suis l'artiste. Tu es une pipe. You're a pipe? I don't even know. My French is terrible. Oh, please, someone kill me for tarnishing the beautiful French language like this. I am sorry. You may have seen my works in hip magazines like Le Branche or C'est Chouette. Chouette? I can send you tweets if you like. What on earth is a tweet? Bird-to-bird communication. Come on, Falcon, it's the 19th century. Get with this times already. Yes, your works are very, impressive, Monsieur Robinio, but let's get down to business. Could you tell us your activities were on the night of the murder? Very well. I was hired by Baron Roguil to capture the evening's events. I arrived at 7:30. I pointed my camera and captured the beauty of the banquet in one fantastic photograph. Only one? Then I billed Baron Roguil and left. Like a true artist. And with the regards to the photograph itself, who did you photograph? I thought you might ask. I brought a copy so that you could all see for yourselves. Oh, very good. Let's take a closer look. Judas! Shit. I should have taken that photograph. Sorry, Tabitha. My word, this is an exquisite picture, is it not? So let's see, who do we have here? In the middle, we see Baron Roguil, the lion who hosted the event. On the left, we see Sanguinaire Pertoire de Miel, the father of the defendant, Dame Caterline. And finally, we see the housemaid, Qualine de Haute, who I suspect may have snuck into the picture uninvited. As you can see, two people are clearly absent from the photograph. The first is the victim, Monsieur Grenouille. The second is the defendant, Dame Caterline de Miel. Quite suspicious, would you agree? Just a moment, Monsieur Rabbington. This proves nothing. So the defendant and the victim were not photographed with the others? That doesn't mean that they were in the garden together at that point. Hold your horses, Falcon. I'm not done yet. The prosecution may continue. Behind the... there's hands on the clock. Behind the photograph subjects, we see a wall clock with the time set to 7:30. Now why is that time significant? Well, as Inspector Volierty told us earlier, that was the exact time the murder took place. Do you see, Falcon? Every suspect has an alibi at the time of the murder, save for Dame Caterline herself. Falcon, something is fishy. In the jail cell, Dame Caterline told us that she was present when the photograph took place, but I don't see her in Rubinio's photograph. That's true, but I can't use Dame Ketterline's testimony as evidence. It has too little weight. If I want to prove that Monsieur Robinio's photograph is not a valid piece of evidence, I will have to dish out evidence of my own. Your Honor, I would like to cross-examine the witness. Very well, the defense may proceed. It's a waste of time if you ask me. Photographs are rock-solid evidence. Select a statement. I can't do that. I said the camera can't do that. Make different photograph, then I build Baron Waguil. Did he say anything about being billed? Yeah, because I'll have to use that at some point. We could try... let's try the photograph. Let's take a closer look at this photograph. I see a mistake in the photograph. Why is it in black and white? I see a mistake in the photograph. Just to clarify, Monsieur Robinio, the photographs are a direct reflection of reality, are they not? That is correct. The photograph process leaves no room for bias or inaccuracies. Excuse me. That is most curious because I see a mistake. A mistake? Impossible. I just told you, monsieur, the camera is a perfect, unbiased device. The photographs it produces are flawless. Falcon, I'm not seeing any mistakes. Perhaps you could be more specific? Certainly. Click on the other area of the photograph that you believe contains a mistake. We could start... Well, let's go with the clock first, because that's what we definitely know. The clock in this photograph, there is something not quite right about it. Well, isn't that convenient? The defense sees something wrong with the key piece of evidence that implicates the client. Don't give me that cocky tone, Monsieur Rabbington. I have evidence that there's something wrong with the clock in that picture. Ta-da! The photograph clearly shows the clock's hands pointing at 7 and 6. That much is self-evident. Which is most curious because the clock in the lounge of Chateau Crenier has no hands. It has no hands? The clock is merely a decorative piece, a talking item. Feel free to ask Baron Roguil or his housemate if you have doubts. Monsieur Robinio, how do you explain this discrepancy? I don't know. There must be some sort of mistake. My camera is flawless. There is no mistake, monsieur. Your photograph depicts something that does not exist in the real world. Maybe there was an error in the printing process. An error precisely where the clock's hand should be? Please, monsieur, don't patronize me. Allow me to offer a more plausible explanation. You, Monsieur Robinio, edited this photograph. Edited? Oh, I'm no expert, but I suspect that you used paint or ink to carefully put hands upon the clock. It would have been a simple task, considering that the clock face was bare. One could even speculate that you specifically chose to include a handless clock in the photograph just to simplify the editing process. Falcon, your reasoning is absurd. Why would the witness do such a thing? Is it not obvious? By showing the photograph to have taken place at precisely 7:30, it's clear all the photograph subjects of it clears all the photograph subjects of suspicion. Blah. In other words, Monsieur Robinio created a perfect alibi. Of course, this raises further question. Who is the witness protecting? And why? Was Monsieur Robinio coerced? Bribed? Threatened? I think he was bribed by the lion. By the Baron von Lion. Falcon, enough silence. Oh, I said my name. Enough silence. Let's hear some answers, Monsieur Robinho. Fine. You've got me. I'm guilty. I did it all. You did it? You're confessing to the murder of Monsieur Grenouille? What? No. I have no idea who killed the frog. I'm just admitting that I'm guilty of producing the fraudulent photographs. Oh shit. I was ordered to make changes to the printed photographs. And yes, that included adding hands to the clock. Good. So I can catch him on having the Baron in there. You were ordered by whom? I dare not say. Monsieur Robinho, I strongly advise you to answer the defense's question. You have pledged to speak without fear, after all. With respect, Judge, I fear his claws more than I fear the punishment of the justice system. I shall name no names. Wow. Well, you don't really have to name names at that point. His claws. Did you hear that, Falcon? That is most unfortunate. Monsieur Robinho, we can't and shall not torture names out of you. We don't live under the ancient regime, after all. But since you have admitted to falsifying evidence, then we cannot keep you on the stand as a witness. Take your leave. You shall be charged with perjury in due course. I can't protest. That's the least I deserve for my failure as an artist. Good day, messieurs. Intriguing, pretty convincing. You gained a little favor with the jury. So the clock hands were painted on? So what? It doesn't matter. The photograph still depicts Dame Caroline as absent close to the time of the murder. That's significant. Don't be dense, Monsieur Rabington. If the photograph is not completely genuine, then it cannot be considered reliable evidence. Why not? It's still a portrayal of the night's events. Because if we accept that one part of the picture was edited, then we must accept the possibility that other parts were edited. Is it possible that Dame Caroline was painted out? Even worse, it is possible that another person was painted in. We know that the witness was trying to cover for someone, so all possibilities must be accounted for. So, what are you saying, Falcon? Oh my god, this guy is so dense. That the housemaid paid off the photographer? Or was it Seigneur Portoir de Miel, perhaps? No. You know who. I don't think so. The housemaid lacks a means of or motive, and it wouldn't make sense for Seigneur Portoir to implicate his own daughter. Well, surely you're not suggesting that the honest and beloved Baron Roguil deliberately tried to frame Dame Caroline? Because that would be the most outlandish theory yet. The Baron is a pillar of our community. He would never do such a thing. Monsieur Rabington, I am not here to throw accusations. That's the job of you, the prosecutor. However, mayhaps I should offer my